Bit of a shocking first episode of the Purple Rain podcast, and I wasn't sure I was going to have these two on, but we have literally just finished recording our draft recap show, so that's why these two are going to stay with me, but you can be forced as well. So the Boston Fleet are going to need a new head coach. Now, of course, we're going to do an episode where we're going to talk about the head coaches that were announced for Seattle, Vancouver, but for today, we're going to talk about Courtney Kessel departing the Boston Fleet. This was a huge shock. A huge shock. So I'm just going to look it up. Just give me 2 seconds. Right. How can I find it? Well, I'll just Google it. Yeah, I'll do that. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. So, huge loss for Boston. Oh, absolutely. Huge loss for Boston. Got it now. Yeah, huge loss for Boston Fleet. She did brilliant with them in that first, in the awful season. Yeah, got them all the way to the World Cup finals. Even got nominated in that year for Coach of the Year, which I thought she could have taken, but of course, obviously, with awards season, you don't take personal account, you only do regular season. Yeah. And she didn't really do that bad with them this year either. No. Because obviously Boston missed out by the narrowest of margins. They missed out on the tiebreaker, which caused those regulation wins. And the Chargers had 12, we had 10, they had 9. Yeah. So, narrowly missed out. So, we think about it, Boston really is still a contender for the World Cup. It's just given how we only have 4 spots right now available. And the margin's so narrow, you have to basically, make the most of the 30 games you've got. This is why I can't wait for League to have more games and expand the playoffs. Yeah, we think the playoffs could easily be expanded to 3 rounds, but no more than that. Yeah. No. Let's not reopen the games, the number of games that should be added debate. Let's not have that. Not right now. Yeah. Yeah. So it was a shock when I heard that. I was like, wow, I did not see that coming. Especially how Boston has lost so much already in terms of expansion process and free agency. This is the last thing, the last thing I would expect to see Boston have to deal with. And yet, no, she is gone. Yeah. So, Courtney Kessel has left the PWHL, has left the Boston Fleet to take up coaching job at Princeton women's hockey team. Now, that is the program that Vancouver's general manager left to take up the GM role in Vancouver. Oh, yeah. Oh. So can you imagine what would have happened if Vancouver went a different direction? Maybe Boston would have lost Courtney Kessel. Yeah. It's a huge shock. And she decided that she wanted to do it. Yeah, she wasn't forced out of the league. Wasn't another Natalie Darbitt situation. Courtney Kessel chose of her own accord to go and do it. And you think it would be a huge decisions had to make from going from down from a professional league to a college program, but it's clearly for personal reasons. She's always eyed it. Yeah. Clearly she's always eyed it and thought, well, here's my chance. Like how with this season with the Blues, they clearly wanted to get Jim Montgomery as their coach when the coaching opportunity, when the coaching switch came available. Yeah. But obviously couldn't because Boston didn't let him go. Yeah. But when Boston did fire Montgomery, the Blues straight away at the expense of Drew Faster just pounced. And look what happened. The Blues went from being outside contender to qualify playoffs to actually being 2 seconds away from meeting Dallas in the second round. Yeah. So, yeah. So clearly it is something she has always eyed for, and I do not blame her for that. Yeah. I have all full respect for her to go for pursuing what she wants, even if it means you have to basically go down a level. No problem. If she eyes this, if she really wants this so bad, then fine. Let her go. Let her go for it. And the fact that Boston have had no problem with that, it's just brilliant. Yeah. But with that, she does leave a massive hole in the Fleet organisation, especially given how what the Fleet lost during the expansion process. You kind of feel like you kind of need a steady ship going into year 3 to at least, have to deal with the ripple effects of expansion. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And we're interested to see what's going to happen now. Because at the time of recording, Boston have not hired a new coach. Yep. Well, this summer has only just begun. Yeah. So, they can have time. But honestly, I think it's a huge loss for the Boston League. I think she should have been given coach of the year last year. But of course, as I learned, playoffs do not get taken into account. So, make that of what you will. Now, behind the bench for the Fleet, Kessel has a record of 27-19-8. Not shabby. Not shabby at all. And of course, obviously, coached Boston to that inaugural World Cup Finals appearance in 2024. And of course, lost in 5 games to your Minnesota Frost. Oh, I've got a quote from her. Okay, so I'll read it out now. It is bittersweet to move on from the Boston Fleet and the amazing people building that organisation and the PWHL as a whole. This opportunity was the only one that could draw me away from where I was. And you know what? That is fair. Yeah, that is fair. Yeah, that is fair. Because a lot of people will think, oh my god, look at that, she's taking her demotion. Yeah. But that just shows how small-minded some people are. Exactly. It doesn't matter what league it is. If it's a league for women's hockey, then it's all fine. Like, I know some people do look at the AHL and think that's just the development league. And I'm like, oh. It is so much more than that. I've been with it for 10 years now with the Barracuda, so I've got the experience. So don't come for me. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but the fact that Sheena O'Woods has said this was the only opportunity that could tear me away from coaching a pro women's team, then absolutely. Fair enough. All I have is love, praise, respect for you. Absolutely. Well, no, if you believe that is what you want to go for, then go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to tell you it's the wrong move to make. Because clearly you think it's the wrong one. Yeah. Yeah. And good on her for actually saying that and basically sizing any of those evil, small-minded people who are probably watching or listening right now. Yeah. But it's a huge loss to Boston. I mean, I wonder who is going to replace her. Yeah. And especially with how the expansion teams have gone about with their signings, their hirings, which I will be talking about in an upcoming episode. It does make me wonder, because, oh, for God's sake. I'll say it now. Vancouver, I've lost respect for. Because why are you going to sign somebody as your coach who has got no experience in the women's game? I honestly could not. When you read to me the article, I could not believe what I was hearing. Mm-hmm. Especially how well Vancouver's been doing the expansion process. Well, that's your first slip up from PWHL Vancouver then. Yeah. So, I think when it comes to finding a replacement for Courtney Kessel, number one thing you need to take into account is, do they have experience with women's hockey? If no, show them the door. Show them the door. And also the ratios are now all messed up. Because Vancouver's hired a man. Here we go. Vancouver's hired a man. Seattle's hired a man. We still got a man. Carry on. Toronto's still got a man. And New York's still got a man. That's now 5 men. That's now 5 men coaching PWHL teams. So we only had. So you try to tell me we've only had 2 years of balance in the coaching department. Yeah. So Boston, get another woman. Please get another woman. We cannot go to year 3 with the coaching ratio being potentially 6 men, 2 women. Well, at worst, it could be 5-3. Because if Boston does hire a woman, then it would be 5-3. The men would favour the would be outranking the women. That's not right. No. You know what? I'm with you, lady. The misogynist can moan all they like. I'm with lady. No, I'm sorry. I think the coaching dominance should be women, not men. Now, I've got no problem with men coaching women's teams. It's just, for this league, wouldn't it be more better to have more women coaches? I mean, what was Seattle doing? What happened to Jessica Campbell? Well, you can talk about that another time. Boston, she's bumped the ball. Take her. Yeah. Take her. She's not going to last with the Kraken. Okay. She's been waste on the Kraken squad. So. But just. Oh my god. So, next season, the men are going to outnumber the women in terms of coaches. By at least 5-3. No. Not on. Not on. It's not on. There should be no excuses now, in this day and age, not to find capable women coaches to coach PWHL teams. It's not on. Not on. Mm-hmm. Right, well, I will cover that when I talk about Vancouver, Seattle's hires, but we want to focus on Boston. Yeah, so I think it's a huge, huge loss. Because I think she's actually quite young. She's only about 35. Ooh, yeah, she's actually very young for a hockey coach. And I could talk because obviously I right now in the AHL have got the youngest coach in the AHL. So she's only so she's actually still quite young. She's only 35. Yeah. So I think that is a huge loss for the Boston. I think she was a very good coach. I did not have a bad thing to say about Courtney Kessel during her time as a PWHL coach. And I, of course, felt that she should have won Coach of the Year last year, because obviously playoffs don't count. Yeah, and she didn't do bad this year, despite the Fleet had a very slow start. They found ways to get back to the conversation. Mm-hmm. Something New York couldn't do. Yeah. But she is going to be missed. She's going to be so missed by the organisation. But at the end of the day, if she's the one that decides to go and take up this opportunity in Princeton, then who are we to say that's the wrong move? Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. Because literally anybody would probably put a right arm this job like that. But if she's got the humility and decency to recognise that there's something that would that is something that she would. It's basically what you're trying to say. It was an opportunity she couldn't refuse. Yes, Godfather. I've no idea what you're talking about. It's an old film. I remember we're quite to do a Cyrus. Oh, I've still not watched the film! I've still not watched the film yet. I bought the Warriors film for Christmas. After getting the concept album for my birthday. So I bought it for Christmas. I've still got to watch it yet. Yeah. We need a film night. We need a film night. So yeah. Yeah, I just would have thought it more, but no, like, if you're gonna quote gangster bosses for George, I would have called him Cyrus. Can I ask one quick question before we'll get back. In the film, is Cyrus a man or woman? Man, okay. Because obviously for the concept album, they switched roles, so the Warriors are now women. So the women was Cyrus is a woman in the concept album, but in the film it's a man. Okay. Right, we need to find a night to watch that, because I haven't, but, yeah. That introduced me to concept albums, so that's brilliant. But back to Courtney. Yeah, back to Courtney. Let's not get too sidetracked. Back to Courtney. Try to finish this off before we go. I feel she's going to be missed, not just in Boston, but in the league as a whole. I think she would have been brilliant for any team to have on their roster. So she did like coaching, and I think we could see that. Because obviously you do see coaches get moved from one team and they go on to the next. So if that was somehow the case, I think that needs a couple of Courtney Kessel and she would have no problem fitting in there. But anyway, she is the one that decided to make this move. Yeah, she's the one that decided to make the move. No one's forced her out of it. No one's told her she has to leave Boston. She wasn't given a P45. Now, nobody forced her out. She was the one that decided, actually, I see this great opportunity in Princeton. It's clearly something I've always wanted. Because she was the assistant to Cara back in the day. She was. So, with Cara now having moved on, she's clearly thought, right, now's my chance, and I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to take it while I can before someone else comes up and snaps it up. Yeah, that's it. And she could do wonders with that program. We could see many them potential future draftees in the years to come. Yep. Like how Cara's now reunited with Claire Thompson. Oh yeah. Right. But final thoughts before we head out. I'm gonna miss seeing her in Boston next year. I'm gonna really miss seeing. I do wonder how this is gonna impact the Fleet going forward for next season. Especially with who they will potentially hire now. And when we do get that news, I will bring it to you. We want to do an episode where we cover her departure. We got see, initially it got announced and no one confirmed it yet. So I was like, I'm gonna hot take got confirmed before I could be coming here, and it got confirmed just not on the floor of the draft. So. Yeah, but I'm gonna miss seeing her next year with the Fleet. I really am. I think it'll be a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's a huge loss for Boston. It will just see how they recuperate from that. But I think she's gonna do really well in Princeton, and she's the one that she wants to do it. So yeah, she's clearing up the drive to do that. Yeah, so I do think it's a huge loss. It will be interesting to see what the Boston Fleet are gonna do. Like I said, when we get that news, we will bring it to you on the Purple Rain podcast. But all that's left to say to finish off is to say a farewell to Courtney Kessel, and we wish you all the very best in Princeton.